Hello, hello. How are you? Fabi English here. Let's give some time for people to join us today. How are you? How are you? Welcome to another IELTS Journey with Fabi, where we talk about everything and anything IELTS test. Okay, so if you need help for the IELTS test, this is the place to be. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Fabi. I'm an English teacher. I live here in Brisbane, Australia. And I have people get the score they need on the IELTS test and do the test only once. Okay. No one should be doing the IELTS test more than once. All right. So if you have questions, you can pop the questions in. Okay. Feel free to pop the questions in. And if I don't get to your question straight away, I will get to your questions at the end. All right. And if you want to tell me where you're watching this from, I love to know where you were watching this from. Okay. Usually, Colombia is the most popular place. All right. Okay. So today we are going to talk about, I hear this all the time. People tell me, Fabi, I don't have time to study for the IELTS test. I don't have time. So if you're watching me right now, can you put it in the comment? Do you have time? Just say yes or no. Do you have time to study for the IELTS test? Yes or no. Pop that in the comments now. Someone from Canada. Cool. Hello. All right. So, do you have time? Most people would probably say, no, I do not have time. Okay. And I understand. I completely understand, guys. You work, you have your family. Okay. You want to study, and you have your hobbies. You have to relax too, right? So, it is very common. No, well, no, Larissa says no. Okay, yeah. So lots of people will say no, I do not have time. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. You will see that actually this is simple. There's a simple solution. Okay. And I think that sometimes people say, I don't have time, I don't have time. It's just because they don't have some strategies, okay, to work with the time they have. All right. So let's just think about that. That's what we're going to talk about today. All right. Cool. So let's get started. So, um, how many hours do we have in a day? We all have 24. Sometimes we feel like it's 10 or maybe 12, half of it, but we all have 24. Okay. But there are things we have to do. And I feel that most of the time when I feel stuck, is because of maybe surprises. So a few things happen in our lives that maybe confuses you, or you have a plan and then it doesn't work. Okay. And I feel that most people, when that happens to them, they get a little bit upset. Okay. They get a little bit upset where it's not the best idea. Okay. If you are having problems with time, okay, there are some things you can do. Okay, but I know it can be overwhelming. All right. And maybe when you had a plan and it didn't work, a surprise happened, something happened, you will probably feel what we say overwhelmed. Okay. If you are feeling overwhelmed, it's probably because there's too much going on and you don't know what to do. That's why I'm here today. Okay, to help you with that. Because if you are feeling overwhelmed, okay, if you are feeling overwhelmed, maybe you don't have the time or the mental space to decide what to do. So I'm here today just to share a few things that you can do. All right. Especially if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you feel that 24 hours is not enough for you. We all feel like that. Maybe sometimes, maybe all the time. Okay. I have times when I feel like that. Thank God it's not all the time, but sometimes, okay? And you should have your little strategies, things you do, okay? So you can get to your dreams. Because if you have a plan and one small thing happens in your day and it messes up everything, you might forget about your dreams. And you shouldn't. You should not forget about your dreams. Okay, guys, that's why I'm here today. All right. And again, this is available on YouTube. If you want to go back to this later, you can. Okay. But I would advise you get a piece of paper and start taking some notes. Okay. Oh my God, look what happened. All right. Okay, let's go. So, um, I do feel in my case, for example, I tend to um over overschedule myself. Okay, that's something I do personally. Okay, like for example, I started the IELTS Fabi course about 2 weeks ago, and this week is the week where I have consultations with my students. So we talk one on one, and then I told them, "Hey, okay, here's my schedule. You can book in," and they booked. And yesterday I checked. I'm gonna see students back to back, one after the other. I was like, "Oh my God." I was a little bit stressed in the beginning, but I was like, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to be doing something that I love, which is talking to my students. I'm going to be able to help them. So that's okay. That's not too bad. So I relaxed because my goal is to help you guys achieve your dreams. So I was like, okay, it's going to be a bit stressful. And then it's going to be in the morning. I still have the whole day. So I'm like, but it's okay. It's okay. And then I relaxed. I relaxed a little bit. Okay, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And then, of course, when you are busy and then more things happen, I'm like, oh my God, but it's okay. I had my breakfast. I gave Juju her medicine. I gave Juju her breakfast. And I'm here with you guys. And then I'm going to start my consultation with my students. As soon as I finish here, I'll be straight away on the computer with them. But it's okay because it's something that I love. Even though it's a little bit stressful, it is something that I love to do. Okay. Maybe by the end, I'll be very tired and you'll be not even 12 p.m. yet. But it's okay because it's today. Tomorrow, my schedule is more relaxed. You see? So, one mistake I make sometimes, I overschedule things. I think I can do everything. All right. And then I sit back and I was like, oh my God, maybe not. Okay. But it's something that you can work on. So, today, I'm very busy. Tomorrow is going to be a more relaxing day. And I'm okay with that. So that's usually how I say things. And every time I feel a bit stressed or overwhelmed, I just think, okay, my mission is to help you guys achieve your goals. So I'll push it and I'll rest tomorrow. Just today. Maybe I'll go to bed at 8 p.m., but at least today. So I think that's just some things that I think you guys should start thinking about. Okay. What is your main goal, your top goal? Is it worth pushing myself a little bit today? Maybe. I can't. I just can't today. There are other things you guys can do. And we're going to talk about that. Okay. All right. Cool. So, I feel that when it comes to the IELTS test and all of that, I feel that people think they need a lot of time. Yeah. They want to maybe block 3 hours a day, or they don't want to do anything during the week and leave the whole Saturday to study. Okay. Not a good idea for the IELTS test. Not the best idea for the IELTS test. Okay. So for the IELTS test, you can do small things. Of course, sometimes you have to do a full test, which is an hour, but you should take advantage of the small things, the little time. That little break that you have. You have to start taking advantage of that. Okay. All right. Because let's say um you have a dream. So I just want you now to think about your dream. What is your dream? What is your dream? You want to study abroad? Balloons. You want to study abroad? balloons on Instagram. Yeah, I know now. Or you want to work abroad, or you want to live abroad, you want to do your masters abroad. What is your dream? If this is your top dream, do you agree that you should be doing something every day to help you achieve that? Even if just a little bit, just a little bit. What do you think about that? Okay. From my experience, I think you should. That's what I did. That's what I did. Okay. So, the IELTS test is not your dream. And I'm going to say that many times. The IELTS test is not your dream. Your dream is to study abroad, live abroad, work abroad. That's your dream. IELTS test is a step. So let's always think about the main goal. And every day do something to help us achieve that. I don't know if you guys know the book Atomic Habits. It's Daniel Clear, James Clear. The author is James Clear. And he talks about little things. It's not a big thing. It's just little things. Little things. Okay? Little things. 1% more, 1% more, 1%, 1%, 1%. Okay? And then you will get there. And when you don't have time, that's the only thing you could be thinking about. A little bit. Okay, I don't have 2 hours, but I have 10 minutes. I will do something. You can always do something. All right. And I think that being consistent is the key here. It's just a little bit every day, a little bit every day, and focus. You shouldn't forget your main goal, what you really, really want to achieve. You should not forget that. Okay. Uh, if you can only focus on your goals every Saturday from 10 to 12, that's not the best idea, because just 2 hours a week, one day a week that you'll be focusing on your dreams. You should be doing a little bit every day. And doing an IELTS test for practice is not the only thing you can do to get closer to your dreams, especially if you don't have time. All right. So the best thing you can do is find ways to get to your dreams every day. All right. Even if it's 10 minutes per day. 10 minutes per day. And I always say that English is not like mathematics, for example, that you just go, you study for one day, and then the next day you know everything. No, no way. It takes time. It's like, a snowball, little bit, little bit, little bit, and then it grows. So it is a little bit every day. And if you do a little bit every day, let's say to improve your English, you will be improving your IELTS score. If you improve your IELTS score, you get to your dreams. And guys, I don't know if you know, but Australia, Canada, lots of countries, okay, lots of countries, they are making it harder for students to travel abroad and study. However, if your English is pretty good and your IELTS score is pretty good, you don't have to worry. So every week when I meet my students for our classes for the course IELTS with Fabi, every week they always talk about what's going on. What's going on with the rules? What's Canada doing? What's Australia doing? And they tell me everything. They might have to change their plans and all of that. And every time they finish telling me what's going on, what do I tell them? Keep working on your English. Keep studying for the test. That's it. Is there anything else you can do? Can you call the government and ask them to change the rules for you? No, you can't. But something you can do is just improve your English, improve your English. Okay. Even if you think you don't have the time. Even if you think you don't have the time. All right. Okay. So there's a comment here on YouTube. Fabi, how are you? Vera from Brazil. I have been in Australia 6 years ago and I studied with you. I remember. Yeah, she was my student here 6 years ago. That's so cool. So cool. Okay. So there's another question. Could you help me with my exam 20th of September? All right. What score do you need? It's Muhammad. What score do you need, Muhammad? And which test are you doing? Okay. So yeah, guys. So let's talk about time. So I think Muhammad has a problem with time, maybe. All right, cool. So let me just check my notes here. Yeah. All right. So cool. So um daily opportunities. Okay? Daily opportunities. You guys need daily opportunities. Okay? So I think that you should look at your day in a different way. Okay? Cool. Where can you fit English, for example? Where can you do that? For example, do you eat every day? Do you have lunch every day? Everyone eats. Maybe you can make a rule. Maybe when you're eating, okay, you listen to a podcast or you can read something. Or maybe you're the kind of person that when you're eating, you don't want to see anything, read anything. So you eat. When you finish eating, I don't know, 30 minutes break you have, and then you eat in 10 minutes. What are you going to do with those 20 minutes? That's something you can do. Okay. I don't know if you know, but with the IELTS test, especially the reading and the listening, okay, in total, you need 1 hour to do the test, the full test. 1 hour to do the test. However, I don't know if you know, but the test, it has 3 parts. So actually the listening has 4 parts and the reading has 3 parts. Okay? So what can you do? Oh, Fabi, I can't do the full test. I don't have 1 hour. Do you have 20 minutes? You can do one part of the test. So what do you think is better? Try to get 1 hour from your day. On a Monday, can do it. Tuesday, can do it. Wednesday, can do it. And then by Thursday, you're angry because you haven't studied yet. Or is it better to maybe just have 20 minutes on Monday, 20 minutes on Tuesday, 20 minutes on Thursday, Wednesday, and then by Thursday, you've done a full reading test. That's what I'm saying, guys. Sometimes people are overreacting. Oh, I don't have time. What do I do? I don't have time. You don't have 1 hour. Do you have 30 minutes? Do you have 20 minutes? And then you can do something. And I always tell my students, sometimes you're really stressed and you can't do a test. You can't study for the IELTS. Do something in English. Oh, last week I did a reading test and the topic was biology and I didn't do well. Don't like the topic. Vocabulary is hard and I am very stressed. Well, why don't you watch a documentary on biology about animals? Maybe that can help you relax, and maybe, of course, in English. Don't watch it in your language, and maybe you can get in contact with more vocabulary. That's what I'm saying, guys. That's what people sometimes they say. I was talking to some people yesterday. They were like, "Oh, the IELTS is so boring. Oh, IELTS is terrible. Oh, IELTS is..." Guys, the IELTS can be fun. So much fun. But people have this, oh, it's hard, it's boring. It's not. It's not. It is fun. It can be fun. I have fun with it, and I hope my students have fun with it too. And if they're not having fun, they have to tell me, and then we have to talk about it. Okay. So, yeah. So, again, just think about it. Okay. What can I do? Sometimes, okay, maybe you hate reading and you have to for the test. Fine. What about the other things? Okay. If you hate reading for the test, maybe try to read something that is a little bit better. I hate reading. I'm sure that if you choose something nice to read, you will enjoy it. Actually, I found a book yesterday. I wasn't really looking for the book. The book found me, basically. And I was like, oh, it sounds interesting. And then I read 20 pages in like, I don't know, 10 minutes, like, because the book was amazing. You see? What? However, there are other books here in my house that I started, and this little book here. Let me show you. I don't know if you've seen this book, Ikigai. I don't know if you've seen this book. It's very small. I read it in one day. It was so interesting. So interesting. And again, let's say that in your case, you don't have time. You say, oh my God, I have to do a reading test. Oh God, I'm so tired to go home from work. Oh, I have the book in English. I'm going to read a little bit. And then you read. You see, and you're practicing for your test. You are practicing for a test if you do that. You see, guys, so again, if you can find that 1 hour to do it, 20 minutes is enough. If you do a little bit every day, okay, if you do a little bit every day, it's okay. You're very stressed, very stressed. People say that if you're stressed, one thing that is good is to put your thoughts into paper. You're stressed and you want to practice to write a little bit. Go ahead. Oh, fine, but I don't know if it's right or wrong. Doesn't matter. At least you're practicing. Maybe the next day you can have a look at it again. Maybe you can see if you find any mistakes, because that's something I work with my students. Okay. I help them find their own mistakes, because on the day of the test, I'm not there to help them. Okay. So again, it's just a little practice, small things, guys, small things. And hopefully, fingers crossed, these things will become more natural for you. Okay. These things will become more natural for you. All right. For example, let's say you have to cook for your family every day and you're like, oh my God, I have to do the test, but I have to cook. Oh my God, what do I do? Your family has to eat. Your family has to eat. So what are you going to do? Maybe you can cook in English. Yeah. Oh, fine, but I know what I'm going to cook. Okay, fine. Maybe it's a dish from your country. Maybe you could just go ahead and look up the recipe in English and cook in English. I don't know. Okay, this is it. This is that. What's the verb? Small things, guys. Small things. Small things. Don't overreact. Okay, sometimes people overreact a little bit. Okay, so just small things, and then maybe you can do it every day. You can just go ahead and cook in English every day. That's it. See, small things. Small things. Doesn't have to be anything big, especially if you don't have time. And then you will see that by the end of the week, if you just do the small things, by the end of the week, when you put it all together, you will have done a lot. It's like going to the gym. You don't go to the gym one day and see results. Just feel pain. You don't want to go again. But if you keep going, you will see results. All right? Cool. Yeah. So, guys, pop questions, and I see some questions. I'll get to those questions later. All right? Cool. Now, planning. You know that I believe that one of the keys to success on the outset is organization. I'm a very organized person. Okay, so my course is very organized, but most of my students are not. So I help them with their organization. Okay, all right. So organization is key here. So making a study plan. And you're like, oh my God, Fabi, that's so boring. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Okay. And again, realistic plan. Realistic plan. It's not like I'm going to study 2 hours per day. I know you won't. So my students say 2 hours per day. I'll be like, are you sure? Let's change that to 1 hour. Just to be more realistic. Let's be realistic here. All right. And again, and like I said before, sometimes you think that studying for the test is actually doing the test, but there are so many things you can do. All right. So, for example, last week I spoke to some students and I asked them to create a plan. And one of my students sent me the plan yesterday. He's like, hey, Fabi, here's my plan. Can you revise it, please? I was like, of course. Looked good. But then, what happened? He forgot a few things that are so simple. But I know that if he doesn't put those things in there, he will forget. So I was like, oh, yeah, you forgot this, this, and this. Like, I know I have to do it. I know I have to do it. And then I was like, yeah, but if you don't put it on the list, you forget. So maybe having a plan that is realistic, okay, realistic plan, and also having a plan that is detailed. You know that thing that you don't want to think. Me, for example, one thing that I try to do every day is stretching because it's important to stretch, okay, guys? Especially because I go to the gym and I don't have time to stretch. So I'm like, I have to stretch every day. That's supposed to be the first thing I do right after I wake up. And do you know when I don't stretch? When I don't know what to do, because I have an app on my phone that has lots of different types of stretch, lots of different types. If I decide the day before the stretch I'm going to do, no worries, I'll do it. If I don't decide the day before, if I wake up and I go, oh, which stretch am I going to do? 10 minutes? Oh, I don't have time to stretch anymore. So you should have a plan that is detailed. That's what you need. And realistic, guys, extremely realistic. Extremely realistic. Okay. And maybe something you can add to your plan is maybe a plan B. You know, when you know what you have to do, but you don't have time and you go plan B. That's what I have too with my stretch. Okay, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna do the stretch I know and blah blah blah. Okay, very quick whole body stretch. You know, that's it. So maybe you can have a plan B there. Okay, just something that you can do if you don't have the time. Okay, or maybe you can have two things. Okay, if I have the time, I'm going to do this. If I don't have so much time, I'm going to do the other thing. Okay. All right. So, guys, so can you pop in the comments any interesting tips that I gave you today? Anything that you're going to try today, maybe? Is there anything you're going to try today? Maybe. You can pop it in the comments. Anything you're going to try. Okay. So, today we're talking about the fact that nowadays people don't have that much time. Okay. They want to study for the test, they want to achieve their dreams, but they don't have time. My advice is start small. Okay, guys, you don't have to do big things. You can do small things. It's completely fine. Okay, small things are completely fine. Okay, and that's okay. You can do small. And it's better to do small than to do nothing. Much, much better. Do a little bit every day, little bit, little bit. Okay, and if you're thinking about carving out big things, oh, I'm just gonna study on the weekend, and then you're tired and then you don't do it. But if you had done a little bit every day, you'll be better. Okay, and remember, the test has parts. You don't have to do the full test. You can do parts of the test. All right, and making a plan, I think, is key. 100% key. Okay, realistic plan, not a fake plan that you're never gonna follow. All right. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, you can pop the questions in. So, proof to 7 6. Okay, so Muhammad. Okay, well, you don't have a lot of time, Muhammad. You have a month. Okay, so my recommendation would be getting some feedback, especially because it's speaking. Okay, so you're getting feedback because you need some feedback, Muhammad, just to know exactly what you have to improve. All right. Okay. So I'm just gonna go over here. Let me see. There were some comments. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, Fabi, what is the book's name, please? Could you write the name in the chat box? Okay, yeah. So the books I like to use are these ones. Okay. They have all the way to number 17 now. Okay. And the reason I like these books, they have general and academic. This one is general. Okay. They also have academic. The reason I like these books is because they are authentic. Authentic. Oops. Oh my God. Here. Authentic. They're authentic. Okay. So these are the books that I use to practice with my students. And then they go do the real test. And they say, Fabi, the writing was exactly the same. The text was exactly the same, because the IELTS, they repeat stuff. They repeat stuff. So if you're practicing with the right stuff, you'll be fine. Okay. Because you don't want to get a test that is too easy. And then you get a high score when you're practicing and you go to the real test and then you get a low score. Or you don't want to get one that is too hard and then you are a bit upset because you're not getting high scores. Okay, so authentic tests, authentic practice tests are the best thing you can do. Okay, I got 7.5 in listening last year. What do you recommend to get an 8 in listening? I'm taking the IELTS in 11 days. Oh my God, everyone here, guys, you have to start practicing for the test in advance, okay? Maybe 1 month is not enough, especially if you need a high score, okay? So, Freddie, Freddie, I don't know if you are studying for the test, if you're studying with a teacher, if you're in a course, okay? Maybe it's time for you to get someone to look at your scores. All right, and check your listening and check. Maybe your problem could be the type of question, your problem could be the topic, your problem could be so many things, spelling. Okay, so I think you have maybe time for you to get someone's help to actually know what your problems are. And again, get a person who knows the IELTS test very well. Because me as a teacher, I look at your test, at your score, and I go, you need this, you need that, you need that. Okay, it's very simple. But for you guys, can be complicated sometimes. Okay, so that would be my advice, Freddie. No more questions? No more questions. Okay, no more questions. All right. So today we talked about the fact that most people don't have time, but you can still get your dreams. And again, guys, just think about it. Remember your dreams, okay? You don't need the IELTS test. You don't want the test. You want to study abroad. You want to live abroad. You want to work abroad. That's what you want. Never forget that. Never forget that. Maybe a little bit lazy and you go, oh my God, I'm so lazy. And you got, all right, okay. I would study abroad. I'm going to do just one reading, just part one reading. That's it. I'm going to do that. Done. That's it. All right. Keep it simple, guys. It's not that complicated. Keep it simple. Okay. You're welcome, Freddie. Freddie says, thank you. You're welcome. Okay. I'm going to go now. As I said, I have lots of consultations with my students. The next one is in 10 minutes. So I have to go. Okay. But I'll be back next week. All right. And if you have any questions, you can send me a message on Instagram, pop comments here on. See, I just got a reminder. I have a consultation with a student in 10 minutes. All right. I'm going to go now, but I'll see you guys next week. Okay. And guys, keep it simple and always, always remember your dreams. Okay, guys, you deserve to live your dreams. All right. Okay. See you next week. Bye.